video, I have an announcement from knitCompanion as well as a run-through of some of my favorite features in knitCompanion. And I guess I can combine the announcement and say the features I'm going to run through are available for both platforms, because the announcement is that Android is updated. Android is updated all the way with all the stuff. Apple and Android are essentially the same app in both operating systems. Okay, this is very big news because for years now, I've been putting out knitCompanion videos and saying, this is a feature for Apple. And people say, when does Android get it? And I say, they're working on it. Well, they have been working on it and they did it. They updated Android all the way with all of the features. So if you are new to knitCompanion, it is a game changer. It is a way to interact with your patterns the easiest way. Well, you're gonna see, just watch this video. And there's a free version that combines the tools that you will use the most. They did not skimp on the free version. The tools you use the most are in the free version, and there's also a subscription version, just one tier. There used to be tiers. Now there's Android, Apple, free, and subscription. That's all you got. It's easy now. So if you are new to knitCompanion, you can go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, search for knitCompanion, one word, and you can give it a try. It is a game changer. It is a great app. So in this video, I'm going to run through some of the features that are new to Android, but are my favorites that I use all the time in knitCompanion. So I am working on a Samsung Galaxy S6 Lite. It is not the latest and greatest Android tablets, but it is perfect for what we're doing here. Works with knitCompanion just fine. So let's go and take a look. Okay, here we are in knitCompanion and we are on the projects page and I have no projects. So the first things I'm going to show you are opening a project and some of the features of the free app that you will use the most. They're the tools you use the most. They're all there in the free app, and this is getting us started. We need to get a project into knitCompanion so we can use it. The easiest way to do that is with Ravelry. And there's a Ravelry button right up here. You tap that and my whole Ravelry library is all right here. Now, if you haven't used knitCompanion with Ravelry before, it will prompt you to log in and give permission, but once you do, it's all here. So I know the pattern that I want. I'm going to type in a little bit of it. CUR, because I want this curling neck warmer and mitts. I did a tutorial on this a few years ago and I know it has good charts. I just got a notification. It said PDF successfully downloaded. That means it's in knitCompanion now and I can start to use it. I'll tap local up here and sure enough, there it is. You see I'm on PDFs over here and local up here. Okay, so to start a project with this, I'm just going to tap the pattern I want and it gives me the option to start a project. So I'm going to name it curling and spell it properly. Okay, and here we go. We have a project in knitCompanion. So the things that you'll use the most, the things that are in the free app are the counters here for sure. There are 6 different counters. You advance them by just tapping the counter that you want. If you long tap, you have the option to go back one or to reset the counter. There are plenty of counters here, 6, more than you probably need. I don't think I've ever used all 6, but I've definitely used more than one at a time. Up here, you'll see we have the pages of our pattern. I can just tap through to see the different pages. And we also have these sliding markers, which are very handy. You can use them to highlight the part of the pattern that you're on and to keep your place, especially if you finish knitting for the night and you get back to it in the morning, you can see exactly where you are. And this blue one, I use the most when I'm using a pattern that's print in 2 columns. I always keep it to the left of the column that I'm on, and it helps me find exactly where I am in the pattern when I open the app. So those are some of the free the features in the free app that you will use the most. You'll use the most no matter what. So now we're going to get into features that are part of the Android update. I'm going to demonstrate them here in my Android device, but if you are an Apple user, it's going to look pretty much the same on an iPad. So first thing, very exciting. I have this stylus that came with my Android, and I'm going to use it to demonstrate Scribble. I know this is a favorite feature for everyone. If you tap this button here, the pen that's writing, it lets you write on your pattern. Yes, just as if you printed it out, you can write on your pattern for little notes or whatever. You get this menu down here, and if you long tap the pen, you get an option to change the size of the pen or to change the color. You can also use highlighter. I use this all the time when I'm going through, when I'm going through my pattern. The first thing I'll do is to highlight my size all the way through the pattern, so when I'm reading it, I know exactly what number I'm knitting for the size that I'm knitting. And with Scribble, you also have the option to undo, redo, erase. It's all there. Another thing that I use Scribble for a lot is patterns will say, you know, knit for 6 inches. Let's say that I'm making sleeves, and it'll say, you know, knit for 15 inches. And I need to make another one. I need to know how many rows 15 inches was. So I'll find that part of the pattern. It says knit for 15 inches, and I'll say, whoops, I need the pen. And I'll write 64 rounds. So when I knit the second sleeve, I know exactly how many rounds I have to knit to get to the 15 inches. So it's handy. It's very handy. Scribble is a favorite feature. Oh, you don't have to have a stylus. You can use your finger. Just the same. I'm just not very, I'm not a very good writer with my fingertip. You should see my signature every time I buy something with a credit card. Okay, so Scribble, favorite feature. The next thing I'm going to show you is something I use all the time, which is cropping a chart. So I'm going to, this is all in the paid version, remember. I'm going to go to Setup, and I'm going to tap the plus button over here. And I'm going to select Chart Piece. If you haven't cropped a chart and used one-tap markers, you're going to be blown away, because this is one of my favorite features. I keep saying that. This really is one of my favorite features I use all the time. So now it wants me to find the page that the chart is on. It's on page 4, so I'm going to say Choose. And now it's kind of hard to see, but there's an arrow pointing down. It wants me to highlight the section of the pattern that has the chart. So I do that, and it snaps me in. I can clean it up a little bit. I'm trying to get just the chart. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I try to get it as close as I can. Now that I have this highlighted, I'm going to tap this magic wand button right here. Okay, perfect. Now what just happened was knitCompanion recognized the chart. It recognized every stitch in the chart. And where there were black grid lines, now they're red, and they're exactly where they're supposed to be. So knitCompanion recognized the stitches, the charts, and it was perfect. And I'll tell you, it's usually perfect. It usually finds things just fine. But if it wasn't perfect, I can adjust it down here to more rows, more stitches, fewer stitches. I could adjust it here, but I don't have to. I see that it's all perfect, and so I can tap the crop button down here. And when I do that, this chart becomes its own page up here. Okay, we're on our way to making the perfect chart for knitting, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is to tap plus again. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Edit. And I'm going to tap this magic button here. I'm going to add magic markers. So I went to Edit, and I tapped the magic button down here. I'm going to tap plus and select magic marker. Okay, to make this chart even better, we're on our way to making this the perfect chart. It would make it easier for me to see the stitches if they weren't all black and white, okay? So I'm going to color in some of these. It says, please tap on a stitch to select it. I'm going to select this purl stitch. Okay, so the black dot, the purl stitch I've selected. knitCompanion is saying, how about this salmon pink? Yeah, that's fine with me. Okay, so now I hit the magic button again, which is just below the color button. And it turned all of my purl stitches that salmon pink color. Very easy to see. Okay, I can add another one though. I'm not done. I can color in this whole chart if I want to. I'm just going to do it one more time. There's the plus button down here. I say magic marker again, and it's saying, okay, now what stitch do you want? Let's do yarn overs. This stylus is not so great, like I said. But I don't want them pink, so I'm going to tap the color and make them green. Okay, and now I hit the magic button again. All my yarn overs are green. Yay! Okay, this is exciting. Now I'm going to go back to knit up here. I'm done customizing this. And look at my chart. This isn't even the greatest part. Okay, so I can see my stitches more clearly because I've colored them in, and this new counter has appeared right up here. That's my one-tap marker. Right now it's on row 1, and row 1 is highlighted, and when I tap it, the highlighting advances. Isn't that great? This is such a cool feature. It makes chart reading so much easier. One-tap markers. And to get it, I had the app recognize the chart, and then it automatically turns on one-tap markers. Okay, so this is great. You can also, just like with the other counters, long tap on this to go back one or to reset. Okay, there's one more step to this to make this the perfect chart. One more thing. I don't know what these stitches are, right? I see the symbols, but I don't know what they are. I can't see the key without flipping back to this page. So I'm going to go to Setup again. I'm going to tap the plus button, and I'm going to select key. Did I just select key? I can't tell. I looked up for a minute. There we go. Okay. Now it wants me to choose the page that the key is on. It's on page 4, and it's right here. I'll choose that. And there's the blue arrow again telling me to highlight the area that I want. So I'm highlighting the legend for the stitches. There we go. And once I'm happy with that, I can hit the crop button down here. Nice. That's it. That's all there is to that. I go back to knit, and it's going to become apparent why I like to use my Android device vertically, because this is going to get tight right here. But I am making the perfect page. Now, these two buttons right here, they hide and show the top, the pages up here. I'm going to go ahead and hide those right now, and the project notes at the bottom. So I have this project notes section showing. If I tap the key that I just made appears in here. You see that? Let me see if I can get this the way I actually like to use it. Yeah. So I have the key, the chart, the one-tap markers. I know this doesn't fit on the screen quite as well, but you can see why I like to use my Android device vertically. Everything is set up perfectly. This is the perfect chart knitting. And now it's also available for Android users. And that's it. Very exciting news, very exciting app. I hope that helps. Good luck.